Hello students, welcome to the English literature class. Today we are going to study poem Mending Wall by Robert Frost. This video comprises details about Robert Frost and his poetic genius, along with the critical explanation of the poem and literary devices used in it. So let's start about the poet. Robert Lee Frost was an American poet. After the death of his father, he, along with his family, moved to England, where he developed his poetic genius. His poems initially got published in England and then in America. His well-recognized and frequently quoted poetry has an eminent position in the world of literature, and his poetic genius made him a star of literary world. Frost was awarded with Pulitzer Prize 4 times and several other awards like Congressional Gold Medal in 1960. He was also nominated for Nobel Prize several times. Let's talk about his popularity, as his poetry was not only recognized in England and America but was also disseminated a strong hope across the border. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. These lines were an inspiration to our first Prime Minister, Jawaharlal Nehru. Now the question comes, why is Robert Frost so popular? What is behind his popularity? Here are a few points. The most enchanting feature of his poetry is his realistic depiction of the themes. Unlike Keats, who wants to fly away from the world with the bird, Frost talks about the present situations. We can find several autobiographical details, as a lot of subjectivity is found in his poetry. He beautifully depicts the routine experiences of people and expresses common human conflicts of their world. We can take an example of stopping by woods, which teaches us to be determined and optimistic in our lives. If we talk about mending wall, it talks about traditional common proverb, good fences are to make good neighbor. The second reason of his popularity is his colloquial speech, colloquial language. By this, I mean the speech of common people, a speech of a very simple day-to-day life. But this colloquial speech is also not a layman's speech. As Richard Wilbert says, his poems are not written in colloquial language of uneducated farm boy, but in a beautifully refined and charged colloquial language. Thirdly, the rural setup of his poetry brings them closer to common public, as Frost himself says that poetry is more often of the country than the city. It is very rural and rustic. Let's talk about his philosophy. Now, Frost is neither too optimistic nor to, to forget the practicability and pains of life, nor too pessimistic to become an escapist like Keats. He is a man of this world and suggests to struggle with the situation. Frost has only one fear, that is the fear of nature. As he says in his poem Fire and Ice, some say the world will end in the fire, some say in ice. Another feature of his poem is his dramatic quality. By dramatic quality, I mean here that reader reads the poem with its visualization and enjoys it with like a story. Whether we talk about passing by woods, road not taken, or mending wall, they all serve a full-fledged drama in front of our eyes. Lyrical quality is also another remarkable feature in his poetry. Frost loved the traditional way of writing lyric and uses disciplined rhythm, meter, rhymings while presenting his modern themes. Let's talk about the poem Mending Wall now. It is the opening poem of his second collection of poetry, North of Boston. This poem was published in 1914 by David Nutt. Poem expresses a conflict between two neighbors regarding a wall where speaker's neighbor is adamant to mend it again and again everywhere, every year, like a ritual. However, speaker has some different views. The wall has symbolizes the national, racial, political, religious, economic clashes and discrimination which disperse man from man. The conflict between speaker and his neighbor signifies the clashes between modernity and tradition. The darkness which Frost here talks about is the darkness of heart, which detaches man from man. Along with this, speaker also says that if we know our limit or we don't take advantage of our freedom, we can have a happy, healthy relationship with others. By self-control, we can avoid the intrusion. Let's have a critical explanation of the poem, Mending Wall. The poem Mending Wall has no section divisions. For the convenience of the study, I have divided it in 9 sections. This is on the basis of development of thought. Like a spy, in the section 1, like a spy, Frost says something. Intentionally doesn't want a wall in between the speaker and his neighbor. This something seems to freeze the earth below the wall and warm up the boulders. Thus boulders start to crumble and wall is broken. The gaps are so wide that two people can pass through very comfortably. Section 2 means line number 5 to 9 talk about. Speaker here seems to suspect more than just one reason and Hunter as the culprit. However, their work of destruction is very much different from the present one. Hunter's deeds could be compared to kids who never collect their play items after playing with them. Speaker speculates some rabbit hidden in the walls, which is intended to catch to feed their dogs. Section 3 is about line number 10 to 11, where speaker again suspects something different from those hunters because no one has ever seen or noticed them destroying or making gaps in the wall. But poet and his neighbor always find those gaps during spring while mending it. Section 4 means line number 12 to 21. Speaker's neighbor lives beyond the hill, seems to be ritualistic to meet one day. They walk alongside the wall and both of them put boulders to create the wall again. The boulders are of different shapes and need almost a spell to repair the wall again. Both of them stay there unless the wall is complete. They both have injured their fingers while mending it. Speaker says that it's like an outdoor game for both of them, in which poet and his neighbor are standing at two opposite sides of the wall. These lines in the next section 5, line number 22 to 26, lines expresses a different opinion that poet has. He says, do we really need a wall? And do we really have something to protect or hide from each other? Poet says that he has apple trees and neighbor is rich with pine. Then what's the purpose of keeping such walls in between? His apples are not going to harmful to the pines of neighbor. In the section 6, from line number 26 to 27, these lines are neighbor's views as he is strongly in favor of mending wall in between because this fence will always keep their relations healthy. Section number 7, line number 28 to 37, here speaker becomes a little mysterious and desperately wants to challenge the proverb, good fences make good neighbors. He wishes he could somehow convince his neighbor to rethink about the wall. Here speaker thinks, why are good fences needed? What is there to hide in or to keep out, to be secured or protected? Is it some cow which can destroy the property or the orchard? But there are no cows as well. Speaker seems to have a contradictory opinion of having a wall in between. In the section 8, line number 38 to 43, here speaker speculates it to be a deed of some elves. Speaker finds his neighbor taking a lot of pain and putting a lot of effort to bring huge stones to mend the wall. Neighbor here looks like a cavemanship and walls are hold over from more primitive times. The darkness that is prevailing all around the speaker is not because of the canopy of the forest, rather a mysterious one, which is in the heart of neighbor. Section 9, lines number 44 to 46. Here speaker says that poet is typically a follower of what his father has said. He takes this much pain, looks like a cavemanship act, and repeats it again. And again he repeats the line, good fences are to make good neighbor. Is Frost just talking about mending a wall of brick and mortar? A big no. Mending wall as a representative of tradition. This poem is about the activity of mending a wall that the speaker and his neighbor perform every year in spring. The narrator of the poem feels that there is no need for any boundary, as neither of them has anything precious to keep in lawns. They have just trees. To him, mending the wall is a purposeless activity. He also observes falling of stones from the wall and comments that even nature is not in favor of this fence. However, his neighbor, being attached to these traditions, attempts to rationalize. He asserts that boundaries and distances are essential for relationships to work. However, what enchants the reader is the message he conveys that most relationships can work well with boundaries. Major themes in Mending Wall. Conflict of us versus them. Conflict between us versus them could be seen here when speaker says, I have apple and he has pine, and his apples are not at all harmful to him. He says here both of them own their own properties. Frost has used personification for apples. Secondly, speaker seems quite curious to convince his neighbor not to have any wall in between, as both of them have nothing to hide or they have nothing harmful to each other. Thirdly, speaker talks about a healthy gap, what the tradition proclaims be good to keep the neighborhood relationship healthy. His neighbor follows what his father asked him to do, while speaker, who represents modernity, wants to abolish both the walls of the brick and mortar and the abstract wall, I mean the wall of our dark heart. Let's talk about literary devices of the poem now. First of all, what is literary device? Literary devices are used to bring richness and clarity in the text. The writers and poets use them to make their poem or prose text appealing and meaningful. Frost has also employed some literary devices to discuss the importance of the fence. The analysis of literary devices used in this poem has been given below. Assonance. Assonance is the repetition of vowel sound, like he has used in the line, to please the yelping dogs, the gaps I mean, no one has seen. Here sound E is being repeated again and again. Enjambment refers to the continuation of sentence without a pause beyond the end of a line, couplet or stanza, such as, and he likes having thought of it so well. He says again, good fences make good neighbors. Imagery is used to make readers perceive things with their five senses. Frost has used visual imagery in his poems such as, and some are loaves and some so nearly balls, when he compares the shapes of the stones with the loaves and the balls. Consonance is the repetition of consonant sounds in the same line such as N and T sounds, and set the wall between us once again. Symbolism is using symbols to signify ideas and qualities, giving them symbolic meanings different from their literal meanings. Similarly, fence here symbolizes the gap. Nature symbolizes the reunion of the two, as the speaker meets his neighbor every year in spring to fix the fence. Metaphor is also used here in line number 17 when he says that some are loaves and some so nearly balls. Let's talk about mythological influences of the poem. Their act of putting boulders and mending wall every year like a ritual reminds us of the myth of Sisyphus. As a punishment of being deceitful and crafty, Sisyphus, the king of Corinth, was condemned to spend eternity pushing boulder up a hill. Whenever he reaches the top, boulder rolls back to the bottom, and he would have to start over again and again. So the literary analysis shows that Frost has skillfully used these devices to discuss the profound subject of limits and boundaries between human beings. Thank you.